This winch session trip was all about heading from Minneapolis, hitting a couple spots, all the way down to Texas. We have a Chevy Sonic, winches in the back, all mounted, ready to go. All you have to do is pull up to a spot, open the hatch, pull out the rope, start hitting the spot.
What's up? I'm Ben Horan, wake skater from Nahunta, Georgia. I got a phone call about a trip from the Twin Cities down to Texas, and I'm super down for winch trips. I mean, that's what I do, so I was super game for it.
I'm Yann Lecomte. I'm from Drummondville, Quebec, and I am a wake skater.
The first thing we did was we went up to Minneapolis. The first spot we hit was just like a little 4-foot spillway, like with the sickest backdrop of the city. Like, couldn't ask for a better spot, especially to open up the trip like that.
It's beautiful. The city, it's like kind of old. There's like old factory or whatever there. It's pretty sick. It looks good.
And we have just a perfect little 4-foot spillway. And me and Yan got some tricks on it. It's a pretty sweet spot.
We had some leads in Oklahoma City also. We got to use the Sonic for that one.
We don't usually have this luxury of having a car with the winch in the back. Being able to pull up to spots where we could use the car made it more efficient. We got more hits and had a lot more time to be able to do what we wanted.
It's pretty convenient to not have to pull the winch out of the car. You can just pull the rope out. You don't have to do any work to put the winch away. You can just close the hatch and drive away.
So we pulled out at this spot this morning. It's kind of like a busy commercial center. There are like shops everywhere, and so it's a little bit more stealth with the Sonic. You can pull up at this spot. Nobody knows what's in the back, and you have a winch. Just pull up the rope. Boom, the spot. Here we go.
First time ever dropping. Yeah! Wakeboarder, stepping into a whole new world. Went about 2 hours north. We went and shot some machine guns.
Had a lot of guns lined up. We had, I don't know, probably around 15 different rifles and automatic guns. It was kind of crazy.
Shooting the Tommy guns were pretty cool. I like that. They didn't really kick at all, and you just kind of feel like a badass of holding that thing.
Yeah. Copper wire in there we can take.
I'm not really one to shoot a lot of weapons or anything like that, but I'm down to try anything. It was definitely a pretty cool experience for sure. I'm just on the iPad searching for something to do that afternoon, and I come across the Zoo Gap, this big V dam that we could just do tricks over.
Pretty weird spot. It's just like that lake and there's a hole in it. It's called a death gap. And it looks pretty rad.
Probably like 15 feet down inside there. Pretty gnarly. Got a kickflip down and I was pretty pumped on that. Oklahoma's pretty sick so far.
What's up? I'm Ben Horan, wake skater from Nahunta, Georgia.
So Ben called me and he was like, dude, you want to go for a road trip with Red Bull and stuff? And I was like, for sure. It's pretty simple from Minneapolis to Texas, and we had 10 days.
We have a Chevy Sonic, winches in the back, all mounted, ready to go. All you have to do is pull up to a spot, open the hatch, pull out the rope, start hitting the spot.
We drove down to Kansas City, and that was a pretty cool place, man. There's a whole little river walk with just spillways and dams down the whole thing.
All right, here we go. Burial Hill.
Ben was tripping. It was like, that's what I want to hit, and I was like pretty cool with that too.
The smelly waters of Kansas City. I just saw a dead fish in the water.
And at the very end, we found a cool hubble ledge that worked for both wake skating and wakeboarding, and it turned out to be an awesome spot.
And it worked out perfect. We have like a little rub brick that you can grind off all the chunks and make it smooth.
We waxed up that ledge. He's hitting it first, and I guess I'm gonna try to hit it second.
Woo! We had to move the winch around so you get a better pull straighter, and then we had to add 500 feet of line so we could get a better start.
It was pretty scary. There's just some jagged rocks if you were to slip off. The ledge was the sickest ledge I've ever hit.
I've been looking for ledges like that my whole life, and now we find them. It's pretty sick. Yeah.
I've never been to the Midwest. It was awesome. The spots there are so sick. I love finding new spots and just winching new places.
So then from Kansas City, we got in the car and we started driving towards Texas.
We had another lead on this like natural spillway in the woods at this park, and we went and checked that out, and it was a Friday afternoon, 3 school buses of kids and families picnicking, and it was one of the most beautiful spots I've seen.
It was like pretty packed, so we couldn't really hit that spot, so we decided to chill there for a little bit.
And then from there we did the drive down to Dallas. The first spot in Texas that we got to hit was at this recreational spot. It's a pretty sweet little brick dam with like kind of like a pavilion ledge that you could hit before the drop.
Met up with some local riders and basically just had a full morning
got lucky with this one. I was driving home from doing a boat lesson one day and I ended up kind of just stumbling upon it, checked it out. The water was a little higher last time. It's dropped down, so the ledges are a little bit better of a height for us to ollie up onto.
We got to use the Sonic again, which worked out awesome.
It's just super convenient to not have to pull the winch out and stake it down, and it's just in the back of the car ready to roll.
Josh is killing it out there, having fun. Yan and Ben, ridiculous.
We didn't really have time to set up for another wake skate or winch spot. So we went to Idris Cable Park.
It's about 7 o'clock on Friday, and we're gonna get a good session tonight. Super great facility, awesome park, friendly people.
They have lights, so they're open till 11. We got to ride a little session there. That was pretty fun. It's a really good cable park, and there's like a big skate park on the side. And so Ben hit the skate park.
That park's real fun. It's got a lot of transitions, and I've been really into skating tranny lately, so it's been fun to do that. Texas has got a good variety of places to go and winch, and that's pretty much why we come here at least once a year and film and try to get clips. I've come to Texas quite a few times winching, and there's this spot, the big block spot. We've never really hit it because there wasn't really a place to put the winch. It's a big spot and you want just a good straight pull for it, and we had the pulley this time and set it up on the pylon of the bridge.
Attach the post down there, make sure it's safe, and hope we have enough speed to jump that long stair set.
It's a pretty big spot to be ollieing on a wake skate. Definitely hurt my feet.
What was going through your mind when you were doing that?
Oh my God, oh my God. We definitely got in and out of there real quick. I hit it 3 times and we were done.
From big blocks, we had to go pick up Grub from the airport.
I'm Brian Grubb. I'm a professional wake skater. I live in Orlando, Florida. We came down to a gap called the McDonald's Gap. I hadn't been winching a whole lot lately. I've just been on the road, so it was cool to go to that spot and get back on my board and try to get some tricks on it.
Yeah, Grubb went first. He got a pretty sick big spin and then a front shove.
Folks, I hope you buy. It's deception on which I rely. And your suspicion I'll deny. I can't believe you'd even try to doubt my trust, yeah, hurt my pride.
And Yan did a badass back big spin, which was really sick to see.
I think I was ready to land it. I don't know. I took time to figure it out, and it went through.
He's never done that trick before down a drop, and and stuck it like it was nothing.
We all got to hit it a couple times. I didn't really get anything there, but I've been to that spot a pretty good bit.
It was good just to kind of, get one spot under a belt and looking forward to hitting the next one.
Left there, headed back to the hotel, got some rest, and woke up the next morning.
First morning, we're like loading up the trailer, getting the truck hooked up, and we noticed we got a power steering leak on the rig.
The truck broke down. We split the steering gearbox, so we're JB welding it. See where we go from there?
We were there for a couple hours, so we had some downtime to do some manual contests. We were getting bored and antsy, and we found a tunnel that was right next to the hotel. And we grabbed our skateboards and had some flashlights, and we went on an exploration to look for the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I really don't want a huge spider to like land.
No, there could be a spider.
You guys feel like you can breathe? Yeah?
I don't know, I'm feeling short of breath. I feel like I'm a cave worker. Thank goodness for JB Weld. Put some on there, fixed it. And we were able to get off to our first spot.
It's a spot just outside of Fort Worth on the Trinity River. There's kind of like these 3 spillways in a line that kind of have these chutes going down them. People kayak down them or whatever, but they're really fun to go up on your wake skate on too.
This is like a perfect kicker that you can ollie on and actually do flip tricks. It's the sickest spot. Started working on 3 flips and kind of got it pretty quick. I was pretty pumped on that.
It's amazing to see how many people stop and watch what we're doing and very interested in what the winch is and how we do this and if we were from around here.
Hey, the best gift you may ever receive in your life. It makes sense, C-E-N-T-S, to follow Jesus. Now.
Can I pet your horse?
No.
Thank you.
These are some really pretty horses.
They really are.
They really are nice. We hung out here and wake skated all day pretty much.
The general public doesn't really know what wake skating is really yet. It's such like a direct takeoff of like skateboarding on water. I mean, all the tricks that we're doing are basically the same thing that you do like on a skateboard and stuff, but it's on water. So, hopefully we can get it out there to the masses and I feel like someday I think wake skating will be bigger than wakeboarding.
Driving around and we saw this pretty sick skate spot.
Ben wanted to try to like skateboard up and like nose pick and then like drop back in. But you didn't have enough speed to like push it, so we put the Sonic up on the top of the hill and brought the winch out. So he was like ripping in on the winch.
We just got the Hydrus, kind of wrapping up the Winch Sessions tour. I think it's probably gonna be our last session. Everyone's flying home tomorrow morning, so it's my first time riding out here and just wanted to get a few laps in before we left. So all the boys are out there riding and I'm gonna head out there and meet them.
We've been on the road for 10 days and everyone's gotten along dealt with Tramby's bull.
You got a pretty mouth.
Probably one of the best trips I've ever been on. Got to see Texas, got to see Oklahoma, got to meet a lot of cool people.
Oh,
It turned out to be a great time.
amazing, insane. I don't know. There's no words to describe it. It was just simple. There wasn't any problems. It was crazy.
You know, I love going on winch trips with these guys. They find, like, Ben's got a ton of spots already like marked out and stuff that he's already done in the past, and we always seem to find some new stuff too along the way, which is cool.
Yeah, winching, it's pretty awesome and super simple, and it's easy to get all the stuff to do it. There's so much water and ditches and spillways and creeks all around the world. It's super fun to do, and it's pretty easy. We've done a couple of these winch trips. We've gone down south and gone to Texas, and now we wanted to do the upper Midwest, and the plan is to go from Minneapolis to Cincinnati and just hit spots along the way and see what we find.
We had some time to kill, so we went to a skate park in Minneapolis, Third Layer, and we did a little mini ramp session.
One of the sickest ramps I've ever skated. It's got everything, escalators, corners, it's got a pocket on one side, like a 10-foot extension, and that thing's fun, man. You can just go so fast there. I love skating ramps like that.
Yeah, this is my third Red Bull Winch Sessions trip this year. I caught the tail end of the one through Texas, and then we did one out in Vegas, and then this is the final one of the year.
The first spot we went to was in Wisconsin Dells, and there happened to be a sick dam there on the lake. It's definitely not a dam that I would hit, and it was just had a lot of gnarly factors to it. Yan went crazy off some really short run-up spillway. The shot just looks sick with the big waterfall in the background, and it was a really cool spot.
The Midwest has been kind of going through a drought this summer, so a lot of the water levels are down from their normal levels, which makes most of the spillways that we checked out, you know, even bigger than they normally are.
The weather up here, it's fall, and the water's cold. There's a wind chill. It's kind of hard to jump down a 12-foot spillway when you're shivering and your muscles are pulsing. But I gave it 5 or 6 goes, and I couldn't really get it, but it was still a fun spot. We found an awesome ski there, that was cool.
We had found a little sea gap on our maps. We didn't know too much about the heights or anything, so we went to check it out. It was pretty good, like a really nice mellow drop.
We find all these spots just like looking at Google Maps. I mean, a lot of the fun is just like finding it, you know, knowing that there's something there that looks pretty promising to do, but then showing up and hoping that it's, you know, the water's deep enough to land in and that, you know, it's not like a huge spillway that's going to be like impossible to drop down.
It was the perfect logo of one of the first wakeskate companies called Cassette. And there's so many different lines you can hit.
I ended up doing like all 3 drops like down the thing, and it felt kind of like snowboarding like down like a pillow drop line. There was some interesting characters there, and I actually had to bribe one with a pizza just to like let me walk past.
I think the pizza bribe did work. The crazy drunk bums were giving Grub a hard time.
We were doing some periscoping around Chicago and weren't really having the best of luck at any of those spots. So usually when that happens, we just go to the skate park. Yan rode first, and backside flipped it like nothing. That was one of the sickest things I've seen Yan do. It was so perfect and so flicked. As he's like pulling up to the winch, DNR comes rolling in. Me and Alex are just stepped off the dam. Couldn't have been better timing.
Not too still.
A lot of the times, man, you go to these spots and you have no idea what's in the landing. There could be a dead body in there. There could be some rebar that when you jump down it, you get stuck on and never come up. That's one of my worst nightmares.
I just saw a dead fish in the water, and I smell like shit.
We were coming to Cincinnati, so of course we're gonna go meet up with the Pasturas. And Andrew's been hitting this like up ramp that's looks pretty perfect. I've seen photos of it. He just got the first cover of the Wakeskate mag with it, and so we had to go check that spot out.
Yan absolutely killed it on this trip, man. He definitely, I think, got the MVP. I mean, he got some amazing shots.
It's so cool watching Yan ride, man. He's getting so good. It's awesome. He ollies up it, back bigs up it, and then just does the sickest varial flip, does like 3 of them in a row. This has been the best year for wake skating. It's pretty wild to see everything that happened in wake skating this year. Like next year is only gonna be even better. Like it's just gonna keep progressing, and that's what everything does. Like it's gonna keep growing, and we're gonna keep doing these trips, and winching's the shit, man. I love it.
Our family farm here started with originally 4 acres, and it's grown to 186 acres, which we have today. Common misconception in cranberries is they actually grow wet. You just see this for harvest. Cranberries can't survive underwater. They grow dry. It's a viney plant, about 4 to 6 to 8 inches tall, that puts out the fruit. The berries are a hollow structure inside, so they float. The harvester comes through and knocks the vine out from underneath the berry, and then the berry floats to the surface. Water can leave cleaner than it comes in because it's drained through this swampy marsh area. It's like a big filter, so it goes back to our lake and we get to reuse it again for next year.
never seen a cranberry bog before. I didn't even really know what to expect. I mean, I've seen the commercials on TV and stuff, like kind of how it works, like how they float the berries. Never seen it in person.
There's just cranberries floating everywhere. I definitely didn't know that this is how cranberries were produced and grown. It's pretty cool to see the whole process and how they do everything. It's pretty wild.
first started talking about doing another Red Bull winch sessions this year, we decided to travel through Central Florida. We gave ourselves like a 3 or 4 day window. You know, we're kind of dealing with some weather right now, but hopefully it'll clear up a little bit. And you know, we got a bunch of spots to check out, so that's the plan, and we're gonna hit the road. Just to get a shot, you know, it takes a lot of commitment and it takes a lot of time. I mean, every time you get that pull, like you've already had to walk the rope out. And so if you're working on a trick, I mean, you really got to put some time into getting that shot done. I mean, that's just part of winching too, and that's what kind of brings the fun into it, and that's the challenge of it. You're not just going to go out there and, you know, get every trick first try usually. We've got a good crew of guys together to ride, and you know, we don't ride together a whole lot just because everyone's kind of from all over the place, and so to come together and like really just get on the road and focus on like hitting up as many spots as we can was pretty much the goal for the whole trip.